Welcome to my guide to the goalkeeper 4-3-3 formation. Fairly simple system: goalkeeper, 4 defensive players, 3 midfielders and 3 attackers. This formation is popularised by quite a few Premier League clubs in England. Clubs like Everton, Crystal Palace, Liverpool, Newcastle and Manchester City. However, with every club there comes different philosophies, playing styles, personnel, so this formation, albeit the same across quite a few clubs, is vastly different from team to team and from lineup to lineup on match days. So what we're going to look at today is the roles in the goalkeeper 4-3-3, variations to the shape, any overloads, for and against, and then for a little bit of fun, we'll have a tactical matchup against another formation. Let's put things into a more typical shape. So we've got the back 4, we've got a 6, 2 8s, and then a front 3. The back 4 shape, it can be changed and it can be altered in certain ways. Deeper centre backs, higher pushing full backs, centre backs a little bit higher up, draw it short and narrow. If we start to then look at how the midfield 3 can be set up, typically in that 6 with 2 8s, they go a little bit wider. Centre mid or 6 can drop down deeper. Okay, then you can start playing around with your inverted fullbacks, all that sort of stuff. You go back 3, that kind of WM formation that Pep Guardiola loves to carry out nowadays. And then of course go flat with 2 pivots. Our front 3, wide, narrow, deeper centre forward, higher wingers. Then the opposite right there, slightly flattened off, more advanced centre forward, left and right sided. This is how we line up against the goalkeeper 4-4-2. Just highlighting it for you. What we're going to do now is highlight just the units and how they line up against each other. So you can start off with our attack in a goalkeeper 4-3-3. The 3 forwards up against the back 4, push them wider, occupying 4 players. Then we can look at it as the midfield. Okay, so we've got 2 wide midfielders, 2 central midfielders versus our 6 and 2 8s. 4 versus 3, more narrow in those central channels. We've got a 3v2 overload. In the wide channels we've got a 3v3. If we take our left back, who's going to advance a little bit, and flipping that on the other side. With the goalkeeper 4-4-2 also, you've got 2 strikers lining up against 2 centre backs, and then you could match it up if we're a bit more aggressive, wingers are playing a bit higher up, then we're in the same situation. It's a 2v2 and it's a 2v2 right there. So we're already starting to think of how we could potentially manipulate a 4-3-3 to cope with those demands. Now we've got the 4-2-3-1, highlight it again. Not too dissimilar to the goalkeeper 4-4-2. Centrally, same once more. We've got a 3v3 in the middle though, a 5v3 ultimately. On the sides it's looking much the same. Once more, if the midfielders engage with the fullbacks, 3v3. Then central defence, we're tying in our centre mid to this as well, because we know that nowadays a 4-2-3-1 there can be a lot of interchange between a striker and a 10, be it a false 9, all those roles. So we've got a 3v2, whereas we were matched up man for man with the goalkeeper 4-4-2 previously. Out wide, you can split those differences, so you got a 2v1 potentially out on the flanks. Now we're looking at goalkeeper 3-5-2. We're man for man now. Our 3 forwards, 3 centre backs. Quite often you'll see some teams tuck their wing backs, bringing that to a 5v3, but then you can already see where we get our overloads, where we get our advantages, if that's the case. If they stay high, then they get their overload. They get their 5v3, 3 central midfielders, 2 wing backs versus our 3 central midfielders. Okay, and essentially a 3v3. Out wide, overloads, 3v2. 3v2. Back four, looking much the same as the goalkeeper 4-4-2 formation. You've got two strikers up against two centre halves. A 2v1. A 2v1, as we're less likely to be seeing those wing backs in a very much aggressive position higher up, like they could potentially be with a goalkeeper 4-2-3-1 or a goalkeeper 4-4-2. So we're on to our tactical matchup now. I've chosen the 4-2-3-1 to go up against our 4-3-3. Got thrown a ball in there, and we'll start from playing out. Okay, playing out with the goalkeeper in possession. We've got the centre backs either side, central midfielder number 6 sitting on the edge. So we play out to the side. Typically we should expect left midfielders to go out and apply pressure to centre back on the ball side. This of course applies to on the opposite side. So the ball comes out here. How do we adjust centrally? Setting back to the goalkeeper. We've committed the left midfielder. We've dropped down centrally. And we've opened up that passing lane to our right back. So if we switch it over now, we're going to look at the case where we've looked to play out. They've cottoned on to the fact that we were going to try play to our fullback. So we play it out, we bounce back, over commitment, striker's gone, right midfielder's gone, our left backs are dropped lower this time. Okay, a little bit of a false movement, open up our centre mid, allowing us to play out. Taking the ball up the pitch now. Wide scenario, movement in the middle, bounce to fullback, into centre half. A little change of movement there. Watch this again. So our centre mid, our 8, sitting ball side of his man. He pulls out of the way, empties the space, centre forward drops down, opens up and slots through. I've set up the goalkeeper 4-2-3-1 to play out with a box 4 around the 18 yards. We've got 2 centre halves either side. We've got 2 centre mids there to support to play out. Ball goes out to centre back. Centre forward shifts ball side, applies pressure to the centre mid. Our 8 is sitting in that half space. Left forward is not overcommitted, allowing it to be bounced back. Same the opposite side. Centre forwards move to the ball side. Our 8 on that ball side sitting in the half space, not overcommitted. Right forward not overcommitted. We'll allow the centre back to come out, carry the ball. Still no options, and then we force the misplaced pass. So there we have it, the goalkeeper 4-3-3. A little bit of a run through today, nothing terribly in depth, but I hope you enjoyed it. Here's some key points. That we stated earlier: goalkeeper, 4 defensive players, 3 midfielders and 3 attackers. A fluid system that provides overloads in certain situations against specific formations, and denies space centrally. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you got any suggestions for other topics you'd like me to cover, then please don't hesitate in leaving a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe.